fam, how are you? Welcome to a new vlog. Clearly it is going to be a very lazy one because I'm just like chilling in bed. But essentially the reason why I'm doing this is because I decided to take part in a couple of readathons this month, especially the ones which are to do with the Black History Month. So there is the Blackathon and the Black Lit challenge, and I really haven't picked up these books yet, so I thought that I would just do a vlog where I would read these books. So I put up a Instagram post yesterday, which you can check out here, where I essentially put up a pile of books, which you can still I think they're lying up there, yeah. And yeah, people chose some books for me because even though I had a set TBR, I am in the mood for things. Like, I'm being indecisive. So I decided to ask people to choose for me. And they did. And I am going to start with this book called Welcome to Lagos. And it is a book written by a Nigerian author. And I'm really excited about it. I don't really know too much about it right now, but I will start reading it and then I will give you more information. I have also gotten the audiobook from Audible, so I'm going to also be listening to it while also reading it. So very exciting stuff all around. I am also going to go for a shower as soon as I can, because like there's AC repairmen in my house right now and they're doing stuff with my AC, which is connected to my bathroom. Anyway, you don't need to know this information. I'm just gonna start reading and I will let you know what I think of this book later. I have just had a bath, so hopefully I look fresher and better. But I am about 50 pages into this book and I'm really enjoying it. Essentially, we are being introduced to the various characters. So far, we've been introduced to four. Two are ex-military men who are basically just deserted their posts. One is a militant, and who's a young boy, and another is a young girl, and they basically find each other and are now trying to get to Lagos, and that is really cool. I really like the way that the world is described, and even though I didn't quite know too much about Nigeria and like their political situation or military situation or social situation, I'm kind of understanding it more through what they are saying in this book, and it's not done in an info dumpy sort of way, which is great. And yeah, what else? We are also introduced to this other journalist, and we get to know about him, but also about like his family. And I just think that is really funny the way he interacted with his mum. So essentially, he's talking about this, how he's finally getting more traffic onto his website, and his mom goes like, "Oh, I hope there aren't any accidents." And I just found that so funny. But yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna go start reading more of this book and I will come back to you when I have more updates. Cool, bye. Hello, I am about 200 pages into the book. It is 9:30 and I am sleepy as shit. It is not the book's problem, it is a me problem. I am just feeling really lazy and sleepy. I'm just, I don't know. I don't know if I should stay up and read. And because I really want to know what's gonna happen in this book. I'm more than halfway through, and I'm just really curious as to like how things are gonna pan out. But also, I'm sleepy as shit. So it's interesting. I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna do. Hi, and welcome to another lazy Sunday or just a lazy weekend. You know what I mean? I've just woken up a bit back, but also what I did was I finished this book. I finished Welcome to Lagos. Isn't that amazing? I really like the way that this book kind of ended. I read somewhere on the internet that this was described to be overtly optimistic, and I do kind of see where they're coming from. But I still really enjoyed it. I think the characterizations and the way the world was described was something that really added to my experience. So, yeah, I definitely really liked it, and I thought that it was a really well done book. For my next book, I don't quite know what I'm going to choose yet. Originally, I had said in my TBR that I would read Out of My Mind by Sharon M. Draper, but then I don't know whether I want to read that just yet or I want to read another Brooklyn or I don't know. I don't know yet. So I am going to just relax and then figure it out. And then I will let you know. So I've started reading this book called Out of My Mind by Sharon M. Draper, and I didn't realize that it was a middle grade read, but I'm still really enjoying it. We are essentially getting to know about this one girl called Melody, who is 11 years old and has cerebral palsy. So she can't really speak, but we are understanding her thought process and the way that she sees the world, and basically she's just really smart. She just can't like convey things because of this disease that she has. But yeah, I'm really liking it so far. We're getting to know about her and her family and like her teachers and the education system and like the way doctors kind of treat people like her who have the disease and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know whether I should call it a disease or an illness or a I don't know. I don't know what I should call it. I should do more research on this. But yeah, I'm really liking it. And it's kind of reminding me of this TV show that I really, really like called Speechless, which also features this boy who does have cerebral palsy and his crazy, whacked out family, which I absolutely love that TV show. It's just one of my favorites. And I wish that we got more episodes of it. But anywho, that's about it. I think for now, it's going to be a pretty fast read for me. I think I should maybe like whack this out in the next hour and a half or two, maybe. I do have to also film a video. Wow, you're saying my bathroom. I do have to also film another video, which I have to film and edit and upload today. So that's very smart of me for keeping it for so long. But that's fine. I'm just a little nervous about this one because I feel like it's going to be a lot of editing. But anyway, it is about my book tracker, and it'll be live, so I will link it up in the cards and down below so you can check it out. And now I am going to check out and finish this book and then shoot my video. So I will catch you later. Bye. Hello. So I have uploaded the video and it did have some issues. Like there were some images that were supposed to be in it that were just not in it. I don't know what happened there, but that's fine. It's okay. It's up. It's like a weight off my shoulders. But yeah, that's that. In terms of the book, I have read about 50% of it and I plan to read the rest of it now that I have rewarded myself with this ice cream. And then I will let you know what I think of it. But so far, I am really enjoying it. There was this one part that came in where she basically got like this text to speech sort of tool. And she told her parents, I love you for the first time. Like it was the first time she could say it because she hadn't been able to do it. And it was really emotional and I cried quite a bit. So yeah, so that is that. But I will let you know what my final thoughts are once I am done with the book. And now I'm just gonna go and eat this ice cream now. Okay, bye. I am just in that mood today where I am just scrolling on reels and doing not much else. So I have read, but um, the ratio of me reading to like scrolling on my phone is like 1 is to 20 or something. Hi, hello. It is the next day, and I am coming to you with my new haircut. Well, it's not really a new haircut. I just got like it trimmed a little bit because I was looking at my hair ends yesterday and they were so frayed and they had so many split ends that I was honestly very concerned. So I called up my hair stylist salon person, Happy in the Head in Bandra, who I love. And I just went to get a quick little haircut. So I've gotten it blow dried, so that's why my hair looks like sort of decent. In the next couple of days, you will see my hair just going back to being its usual trashed self. So there we have it. However, did I also read? I did. But I do want to tell you that in the next couple of minutes, you are going to see me just chilling in Bandra because I decided to go to a bookstore as well, which I really like there, and I took permission to film. So I just filmed a couple of like things like the bookstore and some of the books that I thought were interesting. And after I tell you about this book, which I read, which was Out of My Mind. I will tell you about it first, and then I will tell you about the books that I actually bought. Isn't this fun? You didn't think that this vlog was gonna have like a book haul-ish, like come shopping with me situation. I mean, I didn't. I probably put it in the description. But like, it's great. It's amazing. What are these Never mind. Let me just tell you about the book that I read. Okay, so Out of My Mind, I finished. I really, really liked. I could have finished it much sooner had I not been like just mindlessly scrolling on my phone. But it is a middle grade read, and I really, really liked it. I really liked the way that we were told about Melody and just her life and who she is as a person and how she deals with this disorder, which is a cerebral palsy disorder, and how people around her also kind of deal with it, and just it's just so lovely. I thought that it is definitely eye-opening if you've never really like experienced this. But as I said, I had watched Speechless, which was the TV show with Minnie Driver, which kind of introduced me to the idea of this disorder. So yeah, but again, this book was just so sweet and so cute and heart-wrenching, and just it made me feel so many emotions. Like I was disgusted and I was cringing and I was emotional and I was crying and I was upset and I was feeling all of those emotions that Melody, who's an 11-year-old, was feeling. And that really is a testament to the sort of writing that Sharon and Draper kind of put into this book. And I just really enjoyed it. It is part of the Kindle Unlimited thing. So if you are a Kindle Unlimited member, then you can just purchase it. Otherwise, I think it's on Kindle for like 169 rupees or something like that. It's just so sweet and so cute and just so educational as well. I just have so much respect and for people with this disorder, and the people who kind of have to also are the caretakers and the medical staff and the educators who like help these people. It's just so amazing and so lovely. I just think that this book should be read because I think the whole idea of this was essentially that Melody, even though she does have cerebral palsy, is a person who is very, very smart and just very intelligent. And there's this whole thing with how she got onto the quiz team, and I just really appreciated that as well, because being part of like a quiz team in school, it just felt really good because it had like questions while she was like preparing and all of that sort of stuff. And I was like kind of doing it too while I was reading, so it was really fun, honestly. And yeah, I just really, really like this book. Definitely recommend. Now I am going to make you go watch the entire like My Day in Bandra sort of situation. So go ahead and watch that, and I will see you in about 2 minutes, I think. Yeah. Welcome back. Wasn't that fun? I hope you had fun with me, just like taking random snippets and showing you about my journey as well as just the bookstore. I absolutely love tidal waves, and this was just kind of like a little snippet of like what my life actually used to be like. I would just go to a bookstore, either tidal waves itself or like Kitab Khana, Waver and Wise, or just any bookstore, and just like sit there for like hours on end, and then select a few books, and then go to a restaurant that I really like nearby and eat some yummy food and eat and read books, not eat books. Why do I keep saying eating books? But yeah, that was basically what I would do all the time. And this time I'm so proud of myself that I bought only 2 books, because usually I would have bought way more. I would have probably bought like all of the books that I showed you, because they just sounded so good, right? But the first book that I bought was this one, which is The Shape of Darkness by Laura Purcell. I don't know, but it's just so pretty. It's so nice. So this one is about this murder, like it's a historical murder mystery sort of thing, where there's this girl who's a silhouette artist, and some of her like clients start getting killed by this serial killer. So she approaches Pearl, a child spirit medium, hoping that Pearl can make contact with those who died and may reveal who killed them. But Agnes and Pearl discover quickly that instead that they have opened the door to something they can never put back. So that just sounded really interesting. So see, there's the main character here, and then there's, I think, Pearl in the back. So that's really cool, and it just sounded really interesting to me, so I just had to pick it up. And the next book is a book that I've been wanting to pick up for a really long time, and that is Hurricane Season by, I don't know, Fernanda Melchor. And this is a book that is translated from Spanish to English, and it is from the author is from Mexico. So yeah, it's basically some witchy stuff is happening in it, and people again are turning up dead, and I don't quite want to know anything else. I've just heard really good things about this one, and I also was recently tempted because I saw Kat from Paperback Dreams talk about this, and it reignited my want to read this. So I am going to probably be reading this next month. So you should actually look at my TBR for next month. It's going to be like super fun and super interesting, and it's probably going to be my next video. So, you know, check that out. But yeah, I am just really excited about these 2 reads of mine. And then I started reading this before, but I am currently reading The Fire Next Time by James Baldwin, and as you can see, I have thoughts already. Wow, I'm being an influencer here. But I have thoughts, and I just absolutely love Baldwin's writing. Like, holy shit, he is so good. Like, I don't know why I was not reading him, but I am going a little slow with this one because I just really want to just take in everything that he's trying to say, and just like sit with it, you know, if you get what I mean. But yeah, I will tell you more about this soon, but for now I'm going to go and I will talk to you later. Hi, hello, it is the next day now, and I have just finished this book, which is The Fire Next Time by James Baldwin. And there are 2 reasons why it has taken me so long to read this book. And the first one is that I am going through what I call baby migraines, which is that it's not quite the full-blown like migraine, but it is still very painful and very annoying. So that is what I'm dealing with right now. So it did take me some time to kind of like really get into it and read it, and my mind was just a little foggy and like, you know what I mean? But also, second part is that Baldwin, in this book, I felt like the book was like super dense, even though like it was just 89 pages. Yes, it did pack a punch and had a lot for it to say, but still I felt like I really had to concentrate on what was being said, and it wasn't as like free flowing as I don't know what I expected, I guess. I don't know do you get what I mean? But it's still brilliantly written, and of course Baldwin has just the best sort of prose, and of course, as you can see, clearly I really liked what he had to say um, as well. And yeah, essentially what this book is about is that it is basically two parts, broken up into two parts, where the first one is a letter that he wrote to his nephew on the 100 years of emancipation of black folks in the US. And essentially he talks about just like being black in the US and what that might mean for him himself when he was growing up, or like what it might mean for his nephew and what it meant for like the family and stuff like that. And it's just very short. It's like I think about like 6 or 7 pages maybe that fit into this book, and it's just very brutal in the way that he writes it, because it's like he's just like, this is what it is, and this is what you're gonna have to deal with, and it's just kind of like a reality check of sorts. And it's just very interesting to have read that, and it reminded me a lot of Between the World and Me by Ta-Nehisi Coates, which I'm sure he was inspired by this book to write that book. But yeah, really enjoy that one. And then the next one was about him growing up, and what I didn't realize was that it was about religion, and the intersectionality of religion and being black in the US and racism. And I thought that was really, really interesting, but that was something that I was not expecting, because I'm at the disadvantage here because I do not know too much about Christianity. And when there were things like reference like the children of Ham versus the children of Cain or something, and I was just like, wait, what's going on? So I had to like Google a lot of things. And I feel like this book made me really realize how I just kind of knew about things in the US as a very like an overall sort of perspective, very macro thing, but I didn't know quite a few details of things. So for example, when there was like the talk of the Nation of Islam, which was like a movement that happened back then, which Malcolm X was a part of. So I knew who Malcolm X was, but I didn't know who the main figure was, who is Elijah Muhammad, yes. And I feel like I wanted to Google more about him and just get to know more about him, because he just sounds like a really interesting man. And essentially, what Baldwin tells us about in the second part is about his experience growing up in Harlem, and just how he kind of fell into religion in a sort of way to kind of like protect himself of sorts, and then how he kind of grew out of it, and how he started seeing the what like he started seeing how it didn't make sense to him, and how the religion that he was practicing and preaching for and put his like mind, soul and body for wasn't practicing what it was preaching of sorts, and it didn't just sit right with him, so how he kind of like moved away from that. And then he spoke about that, and then how in present day for him, which was in the 60s, where the Nation of Islam was coming up, where Islam was being called the religion of black people in the US, and how they were kind of putting that message across and what he thought of it and stuff like that. And then he had this meeting with Elijah Muhammad and all of that sort of stuff. So I thought that that was really interesting, and it really made me want to read more about this time and these people, which I will do with another book that I plan to read actually, but I won't vlog because God alone knows what my migraines will let me go through. But I will talk to you about that. But what I really liked about James Baldwin, which you get to see through this book, is just how open-minded he was, and how he kind of just like accepted things and tried to look at things very like logically. And anyway, that is that for this book. Again, I really enjoyed it. I thought that it felt like a trailer for me to want to read more from him, but also to understand more about the history of being black in the US, which leads me to the next book that I am going to read, but probably not vlog about, as I said, which is 400 Souls. And wait, do I have it? Yes, so 400 Souls is essentially when 90 authors, 90 black authors have come together, and it is edited by Abraham X. Kendi and Keisha and Blaine. It says it is a chronological account of 400 years of Black America as told by 90 of America's leading Black writers. And I just think that that is so interesting. And I've got the audiobook of this thanks to Libro FM, and it is also narrated by 90 like people or something like that, or like a huge cast of people. At least I don't know if it's 90, but it's a huge cast of people, and I'm really excited about that. I think it'll be really interesting because yes, as I've realized is that I don't really know too much about it. I may know about things from the fringes but not so much in detail, which hopefully this book will like enlighten me about. So we have that, and then I also plan to read and finish Homegoing. So for my thoughts on those books, tune into my wrap up, I think, which I will post when the month is over and I hopefully have finished these books. So yeah, that is it in for this vlog. I have read three very different books. I read the first one was Welcome to Lagos, which was set in Nigeria. The second one was Out of My Mind by Sharon and Draper, which is middle grade and just so lovely. And then the third one was this one, which is The Fire Next Time, which is a non-fiction. And I think I did pretty well in terms of like the books that I read. And just yeah, it was clearly very diverse. So yay me. But yeah, that is the end for this vlog. I also took you around and like you shopped with me, so that's really cool. Wow, I'm just so proud of myself. Okay, anyway, I'm going to go now and switch off these lights and like sit in the darkness and perhaps like edit this for you to see. So I'm gonna go do that now. I hope that you are doing okay. If you liked this video, then give me a thumbs up and say hi down in the comments. And I will talk to you super soon in my next video, I guess. Okay, bye.